You're all very giddy. Are you all here for the wedding? Are you sure? Okay. Can I just ask you to check, please, that your phone won't ring during the ceremony. So just check it now. You're allowed to take photographs. Bride and groom said you're allowed to take photographs, but please don't get in the way of the professionals, okay? And please stand for the arrival of the bride. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you think Sarah is looking absolutely stunning, let me hear you clap and roar. And if you think that Connor is looking very handsome and dashing, let me hear you clap and roar. And what about our beautiful maid of honour, Lisa, and bridesmaids, Pamela, Kelly and Amy? And the gorgeous flower girls, Emily and Mary. And Alan, proud brother of the bride. And we have the lads at the front here. We have best man Keith and groomsmen Stephen, Paul and Gary. How are you guys? And we also have VIPs, parents of the bride and groom. We have Helena and Donal and Audrey. So I know you'll be tired after all that clapping. Anyway, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you here. Right? Can you hear me at the back? Can you hear me at the back? No! Who can't hear me? Yeah! But Well, maybe somebody, are the people that can't hear, do you need to move? There's seats up here if you can't. Or do you want me to shout louder? No. Okay, so you're very welcome to this lovely venue. I love Trim Castle Hotel. It's a gorgeous venue. And we're gathered to celebrate the marriage of Sarah and Connor. And I know you are both really keen that your wedding ceremony, would be one that would be appropriate for yourselves. And you also wanted it to be a personal and memorable experience for all of your guests, didn't you? And you wanted them all to feel part of this happy and joyful occasion. And people have travelled from all over the place. Who's come from Australia? Australia. Lots of Australia, wow. And who's come from the US of A? Wow. Don't clap them all, we'll be here all day. Canada. Wow. And Finland. Wow. And Laois. What's wrong with Laois? And Westmeath. Very good. Kildare. Cavan. Carlow. Yes. Galway. No. Dublin. Yay. Do you know what? I missed a country. I didn't say England. Who's here from England? No. Meath. Yay. Can't hear you. Meath. Yay. All right. So you're all very welcome. And one way that Sarah and Connor want to involve each and every one of you in a very personal way is that Keith, the best man, has, I hope, the rings. And what we're going to do is we're going to pass the rings around amongst you. We pass them this way now, remember? And because he's been in training to run across the aisle, remember? So when you're holding the bride and groom's wedding bands, take a moment with the rings to wish them everything that you want for them in their married lives ahead. And if you're religious, feel free to say a silent prayer. And then you pass them to the person beside you, and the rings will work their way down that way. And then, because we trust you all so totally with our lives and your rings, we know that they will come back this way. And the idea is that by the time we get to the exchange of rings, that they will come strengthened and fortified by your best wishes for this lovely couple. Now, I say this lovely couple, but they genuinely are a lovely couple. And if I could clone you, I would. We're also mindful of those who could not be here. And there's lovely photographs over there of loved ones who have died. And we think especially, of course, of Sarah's dad, Bill. And the bride and groom, you're going to go up now, aren't you? And you're going to light a candle in loving memory of all those who could not be here. Oh, and sorry, and Paul, where's Paul? Bride's brother-in-law. You're going to read while they're doing that, aren't you? Come on, thank you. Thanks, Paul.
Okay. Please save a spot for him. He should have the perfect view. His little girl is a bride today, and she is counting on you. Please let her feel his presence as she journeys down the aisle. But as well, notice his absence, if only for a while. Let her stop and think of him as she is given away, and know that if he could, he would be here with her today.
Thanks, Sarah and Connor, for doing that, and thank you, Paul, for reading that gorgeous few words. My name is Joe Armstrong, and I was honoured and delighted to be asked by Sarah and Connor to conduct this, your humanist wedding ceremony. And humanism simply encourages people to think for themselves and to care for people. It's about reason and it's about compassion, and it's inclusive. So whether you are religious or whether you're humanist, whatever your worldview is, whatever your philosophy is, whoever you are and wherever you've travelled from and whatever you believe in and whoever you love, you're all very welcome to this place right here and now, because we're all united in our common humanity and in our love for Sarah and Connor. And as I said to you, it has been a real pleasure working with you as we put together your plans for today. Sarah and Connor have themselves designed this whole ceremony. They've chosen the readings, they've chosen the music, they've chosen the rituals that they're going to do, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. And the vows that you will exchange here today in the presence of your loved ones, your family and your friends will show your love and your commitment now and for good. And many of you here in this room have a special relationship with one or with both of them, and your being here right now, I know, is very important to Sarah and Connor. So on behalf of the couple, I want to thank you for all of the decisions you made just to be here right now. Now, Owen, the groom's brother, is going to come up. Where's Owen? And I have to tell you, it's a wedding ceremony, but we just thought it was appropriate to have a kind of a lecture on Einstein's theory of relativity. Isn't that right? Where you go.
Gravitation cannot be held responsible for people falling in love. How on earth can you explain, in terms of chemistry and physics, so important a biological phenomenon as love? Put your hand on the stove for a minute and it seems like an hour. Sit with that special girl for an hour and it seems like a minute. That's relativity.
I never understood Einstein's theory of relativity, but now I do. So thanks very much, Owen, for making that clear to me. And now Fiona, where's Fiona?
Here.
Hello, Fiona. How are you doing? And you're going to read a lovely reading, gorgeous reading.
The loving heart. Someone may love you because you were clever. Someone may love you because you were wise. Someone may love you for your beauty or humour, the fun in your heart or the light in your eyes. But there is one who discovers your failings and loves all the good and bad in you. This is a love that will last forever. This is a love that will always be true.
Thank you, Fiona. And now I want to introduce you to our musicians, Carol McInerney and Dave O'Connor, and they're going to entertain us now for a little bit. So enjoy. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Thanks, Carol and Dave. And now, Auntie Catherine. Where's Auntie Catherine? Here I am. Here's Auntie Catherine. Now, this is not a very long reading, so don't blink or you miss it. And I do want to direct your attention to the fact that it is only for the groom, for husbands. Isn't that right?
Yes.
So wives don't have to listen. It's just for husbands.
A word to husbands: to keep a marriage brimming with love in the loving cup. Whenever you're wrong, admit it, and whenever you're right, shut up.
That's where I've been going wrong all these years. Thank you, Auntie Catherine. And now we have not one, not two, but three beautiful women are going to come up here. Trace, Joanne and Claire. If you're wondering why I did that, there's so many ways of pronouncing that, and Trace very kindly told me the way to remember is pretend you're holding trays. So as soon as I did that, I thought, Trace, I have it.
He never leaves the seat up or with towels upon the floor. The toothpaste has the lid on, and he always shuts the door.
She's very clean and tidy, though she may sometimes delude. Meager things at your peril, in a second they'll have moved.
He romances her and dines her, home-cooked dinners and the like. He even knows her favourite food and spoils her day and night.
She's thoughtful when he looks at her, a smile upon his face. Will he look that good in 50 years, when his dentures aren't in place?
He says he loves her figure and her mental prowess too. But when gravity takes her over, will she charm with her IQ?
She says she loves his kindness, and his patience is a must. And of course she thinks he's handsome, which in her eyes is a plus.
They're both not wholly perfect, but who are we to judge? He can be pig-headed, whereas she won't even budge. All that's said and done, they love the time they spend together, and I'm hopeless, I'm sure you do, that this fine day will last forever. He'll be more than just her husband, he'll also be her friend, and she'll be more than just his wife, she'll be his soulmate till the end.
So thank you very much, Trace, Joanne and Claire. I loved your readings, Sarah and Connor, and I loved the last phrase in that reading, which the three girls read, soulmates to the end. I think it's beautiful. And that's what we're doing here. We're gathered with you because you love one another and you're committing yourselves to each other for the rest of your lives. What's that noise? Doesn't matter. Anyway, you're committing, and it's a big day for you, but it's also a big day for your family and for your friends who are gathered here to be with you as you cross this life threshold into marriage. And I also loved your second reading because it talked about, let me just find it here. It talks about different kinds of love, but the one who discovers your failings and loves you all of you, the good and the bad, that love will last forever and always be true. And that's kind of what we're celebrating. I think a great definition of love is accepting yourself as you are and accepting your spouse as you are. And the fact that you've chosen that reading, which talks about accepting the whole of you, that you can be yourselves without pretense and just love yourselves as you are, I think that's a brilliant bedrock for a happy marriage. And I also liked, of course, the one about relativity, because the whole idea of that one is about presence. And I think that's the whole idea. You want to be with one another. You want to be present to one another and have a quality presence with one another. And I think that too is at the heart of what love is about. And what you're doing in this room right now is you're proclaiming to everybody gathered here in a very public way that the love, the private love, if you like, that you have for one another is such that you want to go public about it and commit to your spouse for good. And again, I like that idea. This is the love that will last forever, and this is the love that will always be true. And of course, we had the lovely advice for husbands, which is also advice for everybody. It's and what I liked about that is that communication, as you know, is the heart of any good relationship. And that idea of not trumping it out if you're right and she's wrong, or the other way around. Communication. She just had to do that to him. But anyway, it's about accepting each other as we are, and it's about communicating and being true. And so I love the fact that you have a reading there that is about communication. And life, of course, can also be difficult, and there are trials and there is suffering, and there are times of desolation in life. And life on a happy day like this is full of awe and wonder and joy and happiness and consolation. And what you're also doing today is you're very publicly saying that you're going to be with one another no matter what's going on, the good and the bad, at times the desolation and at times the consolation. And again, that lovely phrase from that reading, always be true. You went to school together and you were in the same German class. Now here's a very quick test. How do you say I love you in German? So, who said that? See, the mammy knows. Well done. You do remember that one. So you went to school together, and then, Sarah, you went off and you lived in England and Canada. And then what happened? One night, in Ashburn, of all places, in Ashburn, you were at, where were you? It was a nightclub. Where? The Lunar. No, living room. The living room. Okay, the living room. And then at the end of the night, what happened? I'm going to go back to the script at this stage, right? It says he ended up they ended up having a kiss outside the nightclub, and she said he kind of took me by surprise. I think you were talking about the kiss. But it was definitely welcomed. She added that verbatim. And then I asked you, I said, did you set out with the full intention to commit that crime? And you replied, you said, no, it was spontaneous. Anyway, we are here now, and you are present to one another. You are accepting each other as you are. You will always be true to one another, and you will be soulmates to the end. We have 3 candles up here, and I'm going to invite Sarah's mum, Audrey, and Connor's parents, Donal and Helena, to come up and to light a candle for their son and daughter. And then the bride and groom will light the marriage candle, taking the flames from the candles that you've lit for them. Sorry. No, come in here. Thanks. So if you light your candle, and you're lighting that candle, and then stay here, okay? Just stand side by side, not behind them, so we can see you. Go ahead then, go in there. That's it. No, if you stand beside the bride, is that okay? Go beside her. So if you'd like to take a photograph, don't be shy. No, don't go down yet. Oh, you're on the front? Okay. Can we have a big clap for Audrey, Donal and Helena? Would you like to do your vows? Very good. No, that's good. Actually, a little bit further from the table because guests will be coming. Very good. Okay, and you can hold hands if you like. Yeah. Get married. So we now come to the most important part of the ceremony, when we'll be asking Sarah and Conor to speak the words which, in the presence of this gathering of family and friends, will seal their union. But before we get to that bit, I have to ask them if they know of any impediment to their marriage. Conor, do you know of any impediment to your marriage to Sarah?
I know of no impediment to my marriage to Sarah.
And Sarah, do you know of any impediment to your marriage to Conor?
I know of no impediment to my marriage to Conor.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So here we go. Do you, Conor Foley, take Sarah Birmingham to be your wife?
I do. I probably jumped the gun there. I'll let you finish there.
That's a good sign, he's keen. To share a relationship of love, tenderness, and laughter, to confide in and trust above all others, to respect and stand by her in everything as an equal partner, but above all else, to love and cherish her.
I do.
And you, Sarah Birmingham, take Conor Foley to be your husband, to share a relationship of love, tenderness, and laughter, to confide in and trust above all others, to respect and stand by him in everything as an equal partner, but above all else, to love and cherish him.
I do.
From now on, your individuality will be matched by your mutuality, your sharing of all your joys and sorrows in life. And we're now going to do a little Celtic wedding ritual, which is the origin of the phrase tying the knot. And some guests will help us out here, and you'll see why it's called that, tying the knot. So, Sarah and Conor, will you honour and respect one another and seek never to break that honour?
We will.
And now, we've two Andrews, but Andrew, the groom's cousin, that Andrew, is going to take the first ribbon and tie the first knot.
You've only got her in there. Someone can finish that.
And will you support one another at times of trial or difficulty and seek to show understanding and compassion?
We will.
And now Bobby is going to come up. Where's Bobby? Hey, Bobby. Now, will you tie a proper knot? That wasn't a knot at all. And give them a hug.
You might do a grand knot on the pair of them.
And will you commit to listening to one another and to the feelings as well as the words, and to accepting yourself and your spouse as you are?
We will.
And now Frank, Uncle Frank, is going to take the next ribbon and tie the next knot.
Good job, man. Good job. You didn't send you to the army for years for nothing.
And will you share each other's laughter and always look for the brightness and positive in each other?
We will.
And now, Mairead, the godmother, is going to take the next ribbon. And don't forget to give them a hug.
We were 50 years married this year. So hopefully we last 50.
Hopefully.
It's lighter because I have to read something and it's quite loud. And will you do what you're best at to the best of your ability for the benefit of others?
We will.
Good. And Andrew Iverido is going to come up now. Andrew. Bride. Oh, sorry about that. That was Bride's brother-in-law. You're from England. Sorry about that. A lot of people from Ireland didn't know what I was saying either.
Light on fire with the candles.
So, Sarah and Conor, as your hands are well and truly bound together now, so your lives are joined in a union of love and trust. Above you are the stars, and below you is the earth, and like the stars, your love will be a constant source of light, and like the earth, a firm foundation from which to grow. And you're holding the hands of your best friend, young, strong, and full of love for you on your wedding day, as you promise to love each other today and always. And these are the hands that will work alongside yours as together you build your future. The hands that will love you and cherish you through the years, and with the slightest touch will comfort you like no other. The hands that will hold you when fear or grief fill your mind. The hands that will wipe tears from your eyes, tears of sorrow and tears of joy. The hands that will love the children in your lives and help you to hold your family as one. And the hands that will give you strength when you need it. And last, these are the hands that, even when you are old, will still be reaching for yours, still giving you the same unspoken tenderness with just a touch. And now you have your little Houdini moment where you get out of all that. Thank you. Well done. Thank you. Keith, did the rings come back? They certainly did. They did. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you very much for strengthening these wedding bands with your best wishes for Sarah and Conor. So Conor, take this ring and place it on Sarah's finger and repeat after me. I, Conor, take you, Sarah, to be my wife, and with this ring, I marry you, and join my life to yours. And Sarah, take this ring and place it on Conor's finger and repeat after me. I, Sarah, take you, Conor, to be my husband, and with this ring, I marry you, and join my life to yours. Good. So the circle is a symbol for the sun, the earth, and the universe. It's a symbol of wholeness and of peace. And in the form of a ring, may it stand for you both as a symbol for your love for one another. That looks inwards and outwards, an embrace that binds without imprisoning, and a support that reassures without restricting. And the wedding bands that Sarah and Conor have exchanged are a confirmation of the vows that they have made. Sarah, Conor, you have accepted each other, you have consented to join your lives, you've committed yourselves to each other by the exchanging of rings, and in the presence of this lovely gathering of family and friends, I pronounce you husband and wife. So Sarah and Connor, go forward in your life together with the good wishes of those who love you ringing in your ears. Go forward to a life of joy and fulfillment, of tolerance and peace, living your lives and your marriage with reason and compassion. Remember this, your wedding ceremony and your wedding day, those who came to wish you well, the words that you've spoken, the emotions that you feel, and the rings which symbolize all the meaning of this occasion. May your love never die, rather may it continue to grow and increase, so you will always be, as you are now, cherishing your love and always glad to be married to one another. So we're now going to sign the register, so if the witnesses would join us up here, please, and meanwhile we'll have some more music from Carol and Dave. Thank you. Might just get that out of the way. Make a bit of space. Now, how are you?
I'm grand.
Enjoying it?
Yeah.
Would you? Glad you came. Now, so you remain seated because you're the bride and you're going to be pampered to death all day. Is that good with you? That's good with you. Okay. So you sign. You're signing on this line here.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Who knows?
Does that work? There works. And just sign it as you sign it there, and then just remain seated. Okay. Very good. So Connor, take your time now, and as you have it there, that line there. Very good. Now, Keith, you're next. So remember, Keith done on this line there. Thanks, that's fine. And Lisa, how are you, Lisa? Leave the girl alone, she's fine. Now, so Lisa, and it's Lisa's story. Lisa's story.
That's me, yeah.
So just Lisa's story, not Ella's story, but Lisa's story.
Oh,
there.
Lisa's
Okay,
story.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. You should have ignored them.
I should have.
But it doesn't matter. Just enjoy yourself. No shoulds allowed today.
Nah.
Just go what you want. Now just stay there, some photographs. Hold that. So if you head back over there, just while I do the thank yous. Okay. Thanks. So I want, if I may, just to take a minute to thank some people. First and foremost, please show your appreciation for our musicians, Carol and Dave. And you chose lovely readers as well as readings. So please, Paul, Owen, Fiona, Catherine, Joanne, Therese and Claire. And parents, Audrey, Donald and Helena. Should have said you chose your parents very well. There you go. And Alan, escort of the bride. Alan? And then we had the wonderful people who came up and tied the ribbons. Andrew, Bobby, Mairead, Frank and Andrew number 2. Our lovely maid of honour, Lisa, and bridesmaids, Pam, Kelly and Amy. Best man, Keith, and groomsmen, Gary, Stephen and Paul. There's a little girl looking saying, don't forget me. Our flower girls, Emily and Mary. And the wonderful management staff here at Trim Castle Hotel, they'll be looking after you all day. There's so many. There's Patrick and there's Una and there's Tracy and there's Laura and there's Michael. And give them all a big clap. And you all look really gorgeous. But there are two people here who will preserve your beauty forevermore. And they are our photographer, Andre, and video man, Brendan. And finally, it's been a lovely gathering of family and friends. So thank you so much for your presence, your participation, your attention. It's really been lovely. You'll have a great party tonight, but give yourselves a great big clap too. Thank you. Just one final thing to do, and if I may ask you please to be upstanding. Okay, it's not the biggest broom you're ever going to see, but it's a broom, okay? Now. So we end this ceremony with the tradition of jumping the broom. I know it's hard to get that. As our bride and groom jump the broom, they cross the threshold into marriage. And it marks the beginning of their making their home together as a married couple. And it symbolizes sweeping away the old and welcoming the new, sweeping away all old negative energy and making way for all good things to come into your lives. And it's also called support from you, their family and friends, to be with them and to support them in their marriage. And my final duty before they take that leap, and if we could have the bride and groom over here ready to take that leap. Thank you very much. Very good. So, my final duty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am delighted and excited and thrilled to bits to present to you, for the very first time, the newly married couple, Mr. and Mrs. Foley. So, you go out with the bridesmaids and so on.